Many rental property owners like yourself are probably full of questions, worries, and concerns in light of the coronavirus situation. This video is meant to explain the situation and how it pertains to you and your property manager. Hopefully, we'll allay some of your fears, show you what may occur, and show you what some of your options may be. My name is Harry Heist, founding partner of Heist, Weisse, and Wolk, the property manager's partner. Since 1989, we've done nothing but work for investors, landlords, property managers, apartment managers. We work for thousands of them. Not only am I an attorney, but I'm an investor like you, a landlord, and I have 4 different property management companies handling my rentals, which are scattered throughout Florida. You have made a wise choice in having a professional property manager handle your rental. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of uncertainty right now and a lot of misinformation from the media that's causing unnecessary concern and worry. Since you're using a professional property manager, you need to relax. Take it easy. While some things have changed, most really have not. Your property manager will continue to manage your property, make essential repairs, serve notices, demand and collect rent, and if rent's not received, serve the notices allowed by the lease and the law and file evictions if necessary, as long as it's allowed by law. Most professional property managers can work remotely, so even if there was a strict quarantine in place, your property manager has it under control. The coronavirus does not remove your legal obligations to make necessary repairs on your property. You need to be prepared to be able to pay for these repairs up front if your property manager is not holding any rent that's not been dispersed yet to you. You need to be prepared for the fact that some vendors are going to be impacted as well, and there could be delays in getting a repair done. Non-essential repairs will be held off by your property manager, but essential repairs must always be done. Usual property inspections might be put on hold right now by your property manager for their safety, and already some tenants have been refusing access for inspections. Let's start out with rent. Rent is still due and owing despite the coronavirus. Your property manager will continue to serve the notices required by the lease and law if your tenant becomes delinquent. If your tenant is violating the lease in other ways, they will serve the notices and take the same steps as usual. That hasn't changed. In some states, counties, and cities, the courthouses are closed, evictions have stopped, or there's a moratorium on the filing of evictions. There might even be a federal moratorium on evictions at some point, but at this very moment, it's not quite clear. What this means to you is that your property manager might not be able to file an eviction if needed, and this will result in your tenant not being able to be removed from the property as normal while they rack up a balance of rent owed. While most tenants are going to pay the rent no matter what, some tenants simply may not pay. If the courts are closed, or if there's a federal, state, or local moratorium, all you can do is wait. Just wait it out. Some of you are extremely financially secure. You could weather not receiving rent for a long period of time. Others, well, some of you might have mortgages, or you're in a different, tighter financial situation. Some tenants will take advantage of the situation. There's no doubt about this. You need to expect that there will be those who just are going to stop paying rent, and we might not be able to evict them as normal. They're going to build up significant balances. Try not to have an expectation that once this is all over, these tenants will magically pay you what is owed or follow a payment modification plan. Even with financial assistance by the government or by charities, many tenants are going to spend their money on things other than rent. Some tenants already have stopped paying rent, and Some are already asking for modifications or payment plans. If you need money right now and your property manager is holding a security deposit or a last month's rent, you may be able to tap into that money right now and have it converted into rent. In order to do this, no matter what is owed or what will be owed, you and your tenant must agree to this in writing, and we have a form that is signed by all parties that allows the immediate use of the deposit or a last month's rent. It's not recommended, but it's available to you. Without a written agreement by the tenant, you are not allowed to touch this money that's held in escrow. The serious downside to this is that you won't have any money from the deposit when the tenant vacates, and so you won't have any money to pay for damages or pay for even an eviction, as that security deposit or that last month's rent is going to have already been used up. Your tenant might be asking the property manager if rent could be abated or a payment plan can be made. Well, payment plans are possible. It's totally legal, and we have the proper forms. But you need to understand that just because you have a payment plan in effect, this does not mean the tenant will follow the plan. You know the expression that no good deed goes unpunished? Nowhere is it more true than for landlords. Your property manager will not give any rent abatements, concessions, extensions, hold off on evictions, or present or offer any deals or arrangements to the tenant unless you agree to it, and this is all going to have to be in writing. You are the one taking the risk here. Your property manager has a fiduciary duty to you to demand what's owed per the lease and per the lease terms. If you wish to allow an abatement, a concession, a deal, a payment plan, this is going to be your decision. And again, you must, and I stress this very hard, you must understand the risk of losing. Most states have strong debtor protection laws, and collecting rent from a tenant who has skipped, sat there rent-free for months, or has been evicted is like getting blood from a turnip. It's not going to happen. It's going to be very, very difficult to collect. A landlord is extremely lucky if they can ever get a former tenant to pay once that tenant is gone. I just tell people, good luck getting that money. Cash for keys. This is an option for you. While it sounds abhorrent to most landlords and property managers to pay someone to leave, it's an option, and we have the form that can be used for cash for keys. If you need your property back now for whatever reason, maybe you're selling, maybe you're moving back in, or maybe you simply don't wish to allow a tenant to live there rent-free, your property manager can offer cash for keys, which sometimes works. This needs to be your decision and your decision alone. Will all this go on for an infinite period of time? Will the government step in and help you pay the mortgage or help the tenant pay the rent? We simply don't know. It's doubtful. It's doubtful there will be a lot of relief. Just recently, the government has stated that foreclosures will be placed on hold for some mortgages. I'm certain that many banks are going to work out payment modifications. You need to check with your bank if you're in trouble. As for anything else, no one knows, but we will be keeping your property manager informed of anything and everything that we find out. They will keep you informed as well. But right now, there are far more questions than there are answers. My gut feeling is that this is going to end soon, but this is a first for me and your property manager, just like it's a first for you. If evictions are put on hold or delayed, the moment the hold is lifted, our office of 25 staff members will be prepared to immediately finish up or file the evictions with no delay. If your property is in another state, your manager will have an attorney ready to file an eviction, or in some cases, they are allowed to file them without an attorney. If you're an owner of Florida rental property and we represent your property management company, feel free to give us a call if you have any questions, and we will try to answer the questions you have. There's no charge whatsoever. My email address is simple, harry@evict.com, and my phone number is 1-800-253-8428. Stay safe and healthy, and rest assured that your professional property manager is doing everything he or she can do as allowed by law.